Alright, and thanks for tuning in again, guys. Today I'm going to review the Transformers Prime RID Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Ratchet. And I'll tell you off the bat, it's one of those figures. Amazing. If you have the chance to stop watching this and go buy them now, buy them now. I won't be upset. It'll be okay. But for those of you who are sticking around, let's get to this review. First, we're going to take a look at the alt mode here. He does turn into that ambulance that, you know, he's always been known for. G1 movie, even now. So that's cool that they kept his alt mode, you know, correct. But taking a look at him, it is a very solid truck mode. And what's neat about this alt mode, and it may just be me, but it definitely gives me a real vibe of like this perfect cross between his movie alt mode and the classics van alt mode. So unfortunately, I don't have a movie Ratchet here to compare, but for those of you who know, I'd like to hear some of your thoughts, maybe leave some comments and stuff like that. But overall, pretty solid toy. He is built so that all four wheels roll, so no QC problems or engineering or anything like that. And overall, just an awesome toy. Just so you can get an idea of scale, let's take a look. Take a look at what we got here. Here's first edition Cliff Jumper. So, about the same size in that comparison. Slightly smaller. Okay, and his alt mode does have weapon storage. He comes with these two small swords. 1, 2. And get my hands out of you guys' way in a second. But I need to peg this in. And there we go. He's the kind of ambulance I guess you don't call for help. Or maybe if you help you're looking for is having somebody get stabbed by a 2-ton truck. But anyway, there's his alt mode. And yeah, overall just solid. I mean, I like it, good aesthetic. Everything snaps together well. Just cool stuff. Alright, and now we get a chance to take a look at robot mode, where I personally think this toy really shines. As you can see here, it matches the show aesthetic extremely well. Very sleek. It's got the broad shoulders, narrow waist. Even the legs match up to the show really well. And the kibble, to me, is well done. It gives his back something to it more than looking like a backpack. The legs actually form like a calf shape, which is awesome. And I mean, fully turnable head. It does go 360 both ways. It's on a ball joint for whatever reason. When you tilt his head up, it just pops right back down. So I'm not really going to break my figure to figure out what's behind that, but just letting you guys know. As for posability, let's take a look. Shoulders, standard ball joint turning, bicep swivel. Okay, no forearm swivel because the forearms actually rotate off the end of the bicep, but it does have that elbow joint there. Hands, no wrist articulation. The waist does turn. Get my hands out of the way so you guys can look at it. Okay, legs. Get the arm out of the way. Standard ball joint on the thigh. No turn joints or anything like that on the calf. Knees do bend quite a bit back, especially for having that kibble. And the ankles, he does have that heel support there. And the ankles do turn. They don't have a ball joint, but because of the way it transforms, actually, they do have that ability to turn and help him pose. So overall, just a solid figure, great representation of the show and everything like that. The only thing that I don't like is the weapons. There's nowhere for them to store. There are a couple of fan ways that we've figured out on the boards. One of them involves pegging the weapon back there. That does fit pretty tight. There is a slot here. This is my favorite one, in the calves, and they fit in there without sticking out too crazy much on the sides. I don't think I've discussed that one on the boards, but you guys see it now. And now we'll take a look at how the weapons look in hand. And I like it because it slides right out of there. You can actually hold the blades as swords, or if you want it to be a little bit more show accurate, his hands do bend in, just like the transformation. Just give him a cool pose here. Sorry, I'm a pose whore. Yeah, turn that ankle joint in. And there you go. So overall, just a cool posable toy. Neat weapons, but he does get a knockdown for the lack of storage. And as a deluxe, the lack of leg swivel, I guess he does in a sense, but you just can't go as far as I'd like to with it. I wish it was a little bit farther down. So not necessarily a knock, but just a little gripe I have. And the lack of wrist turning brings him down a slight notch. I'd say like a half point, or maybe even like a fourth of a point or something like that, but nothing too crazy. Overall, just a solid figure, and if anything, the only thing that would really notch him down is the lack of weapon storage in robot mode, because I don't like losing accessories and just keeping them around on the floor. And final thoughts on the figure. All around, decently posable, great show aesthetic, awesome homage in my opinion. The only thing that I really wish, as the character himself, because of his size in the show, wish he was a Voyager, just to make him more in scale and show accurate in that sense. But can't really judge it on that because I'm judging a deluxe toy, so really doesn't get a knock for just wishing he was a little bit bigger. The lack of weapon storage, that's going to be the main one. Wish he had it. Not huge, but definitely would have been nice, especially since figures like Wheeljack and Soundwave from this line definitely have it and do it really well. It's one of those things that would have easily made this figure like a 10 out of 10. But with that, solid bot mode, awesome car mode, and yeah, just an overall great look, fun, posable toy. I'm going to go ahead and give him an 8.5 out of 10. As soon as you see him, buy him.